Dr. Ibrahim, welcome back. Let's start off straight with a telephone call. We have a viewer calling us from Colorado. Mia in Colorado. Go ahead with your question.
Thank you for taking my call. Dr. Ibrahim, you said they used the court system to ban you from running. I want to know if you have an appeal process going on. Are you hoping for a pardon from the court, or are you going to defy the court's order that you're going to end up back in jail? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question, Mayor.
We have exhausted the process, and everybody knows the International Legal Fraternity, the International Bar, the International Commission of Juries have already concluded that the entire process is flawed. But I did observe the entire due process. So right now, it's only up to the king to give the pardon. It is, to my mind, is a non-issue for now, and we have to proceed. There's no question of going back to jail under the present law, but unless the, other considerations or other factors come in.
Is it likely that the king will grant a pardon?
I don't know, because from the grapevine, the messages is something positive, but I have not submitted any appeal.
Okay. Let's get in an email question here. This one is from Fahash Wafa, Salvador in the United Kingdom, and the question is, what can Malaysians living outside of the country do to most effectively support the reform agenda?
Well, first, exercise your right as a citizen. And you are outside, you are free. You are not being under the surveillance of the intelligence apparatus. Yes, the Malaysian Embassy or High Commission sometimes overstretch their power, but have the courage. You are talking about your role to ensure that the country move forward. You are, according to the Constitution, and Constitution guarantees basic right of freedom of expression, of conscience, and etc. You want the country to succeed. So make sure that your voice is heard. Emails, blogs, campaign, talk to people, distribute pamphlets.
Well, I want to read to you what a think tank analyst based in London said recently about you. She said, his supporters saw him as a Nelson Mandela of Malaysia who would come to power and change everything. But now, not much needs to be changed. How do you respond to statements like that?
Well, that is on the presumption that the initial pronouncements of Prime Minister Abdullah Badawi to respect the rule of law, separation of powers, combat corruption, propel economy works. In fact, as a matter of policy, I did endorse, I did take a very positive view of the pronouncements of Prime Minister Badawi. But then 3 years have passed, nothing has happened. In fact, you look at the indexes, both the corruption index has plunged, and the competitive index, we have lost out. Foreign direct investments, we have lost out to many of our neighboring countries. So a lot of things need to be done. If it's really a worthy think tank, he has to really evaluate the entire process, because the facts does not defend the position he's taking. The country is in dire need of change.
You know, the Malaysian government, or at least the information minister in the Malaysian government, doesn't consider you much of a political force. He said recently, he's nothing in Malaysia's politics right now. There is no issue. If he was still in prison, he might have a stronger presence.
Well, this is a personal view, but if it is true what the information minister is saying or suggesting, why is it that I'm banned from entering any campus? Why am I not allowed, no news is allowed to be printed about me in the media? That means I'm seen to be a threat. Otherwise, I should be given basic right and freedom as any other citizen. I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to function. I'm not to teach, lecture in the university, enter any business premises. Nothing is allowed. No way the Malaysian television under that Minister of Information would allow me even half a minute, except if they attempt to demonize me.
You know, at the time of your conviction, you accused your government colleagues of corruption. Do you believe that graft is still endemic in Malaysia today?
It is unfortunately worse off. It's not just my personal view. You look at Transparency International, you look at the corruption index, you look at the series of allegations. There are allegations against the Director General of Anti-Corruption Agency. There are complicity over huge and massive commissions accrued by the government, by the Defence Ministry, involving the Defence Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak. And these are not mere allegations. People have adduced evidence. $120 million commission for 2 submarine deals from France. $100 million commission for Sukhoi jets from Russia. And what is done? Nothing is done. If there are investigations, no investigations. So these problems affecting the morale, even the principle, the institutions of governance, enforcement authorities, and judiciary.
Okay, let's get another question in from a viewer. This is Mungafa from Kuala Lumpur is calling us. Mungafa, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead with your question, please.
My question is, the Indians in this country, we are here for almost 100 over years. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, we can hear you.
And in the last 40 years under the new economic policy, the Indians have been marginalized to below 1% of the economic share. So what does Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim intends to do for this?
Well, that comes back to the new economic policy that you were talking about earlier on.
Thanks, Mugapa. You know, our policy to dismantle the new economic policy. You are right. They are poor, downtrodden, marginalized Indians, particularly in the estate sector and the squatters in this country. But you have to appreciate the fact that the poor and the marginalized are in the rural sector, in the urban sector, in the estate sector. That is why I believe that the new economic policy should be dismantled, and we come together as Malaysians, Malays, Chinese, Indians, Kadazans, Ibans, work together under keadilan and come out with this program, have the courage, the strong conviction that this country has enough resources to benefit all who are industrious, who work hard. And I believe this is a program not only good for the Indians, but it is a major help to the marginalized Malays too.